Hello. How are y'all? We've got, let me see. What life, Al, Rocksteady, Gigi. It's good to see y'all. Larry's too. It's been a minute. Good to see you. Eric, good to see you. Oh, it's been a day. Hey, Bruce. So, some of y'all have been asking, so I'll give you updates. Mom, um, still in ICU. Um, let's see, 2 days ago, we were pretty concerned. She had a fungus in her blood. I've never heard of that, but so they were concerned because if it went to her eyes, she could be blind. And so they started on that right away, got an ophthalmologist up there to check her eyes. Everything came out good. Um, Today, they tried to put a smaller feeding tube in her that would be more comfortable for her. She was intubated for the past 3 days, I think, and they were able to remove that. She's breathing good on her own. Um, she still has oxygen, but she was overbreathing the ventilator, which is good. Um, she's she was able to talk today, and she just kept saying, "I want to go home." And man, that's hard. She doesn't realize the long journey ahead. And um, so I'm trying to think of a way to work on that. I'm trying to think of a way to get a computer or a tablet or something in there that is facing her. But I'm pretty sure they won't let me do that in ICU. Just one sec. All right, love you. Love you too, babe. Um, my daughter's been here visiting, so I wasn't even sure I was going to go live if she was going to spend another night. It's closer for her if she stays here to get to my mom's. She's been packing up everything herself. Well, I went out and helped her. Think I'm going out again tomorrow to help her. It's a lot. And um, deciding what pictures are going to be hung, what pictures need to go. My mother has pictures of everybody hanging on the walls. And I'm like, the ones of me with husbands, those can not be hung, please. Just, and thank you, Eric. I know how you feel and what you're going through. A lot of us are taking care of family, and it gets rough. That's right, Al. Exactly. Um, haven't heard her say that yet. She's been hearing me say it, but um, she she's got this little nurse. He, my daughter said, was pretty cute. Thank you. I got the Chinaman, and
Well, this is the hook you have to hang it with.
Okay.
So that sucker's heavy.
Well, I got others. Thank you. Love you too. Um, hey Garrett. So we are moving forward just like everything's going to be okay because it is amazing to me. And I know my uncle's church, all the ladies there are praying. I know that my stepmother in Florida has everybody praying. I know the prayers are coming in. I feel them. I know a lot of y'all have been praying, and I so appreciate it. And she is just the people think, I don't know. I don't know if it's hard headed, stubborn, whatever it is. She is in the fight for the long haul. And it is just very obvious. And she'll smile. She's like, I don't know how she's smiling with all them tubes and everything, but she's doing amazing. It, even though she's still in ICU and things can turn, we're just we're just speaking positive into it. We're just not giving up. So that's that. And that's what it's been. She had bought the new home before this accident. So we have been getting everything into the new home, and um, everyone is totally exhausted. It's the moving stuff, the going to see her every day, it's a lot. Because from here, that's like a 70-mile drive to where she's at. Cheryl, good to see you. And then, hey Daniel, good to see you. Um, we're working on having a celebration of life for my father in October. And so we got that going on. It's just um, that's where the prayers come in. Even though it's a roller coaster, it's like that I'm able to be this calm is a miracle. And I'm not always, and I'm trying my hardest not to send damn texts and emails. That's a whole other story. You know, and that's, y'all, I don't know how y'all, the friendship, when you think of someone being such a friend that you share way too much with them, you just kind of expect it to always be there. Oh well, yeah, Claire's too, and I know that's what she'll be doing till her last breath. She's, she wants out of there. She's ready to go home, but she should know just holding her cup and drinking out of the straw today. That was that was something that she hadn't been able to do. Um, her arms are swollen from all the fluids. That's why they're trying to get a feeding tube in. um, well, yeah, that's true, Dickie. And, you know, that's it. When I get angry, and I don't, it's words, and then I feel so bad. You know what they say about the forked tongue? That's what I feel like I'm doing. It's like I'm that stupid snake that, like a whip, just whip it out there, and then I feel like, okay, I said what I need to say, and that's it. And it, I mean, these these kids will say what they want to say, and that's it. Do I stop loving them? Do I stop talking to them? Do I just cut them off? No way. No way. And I think that's where a lot of us, we can't hold grudges. We can't, I'm sorry. It's, unless somebody came and did something to one of my kids or to harm them, then you're going to see the wrath of me. But words, really, I don't know. And, well, I've heard me angry, but y'all probably don't catch it. There's sometimes when I'm like, I'm trying to say something and someone will talk over me and I'm like, are you kidding me? Or seriously? Or just I don't know. Yes, I started to say, is there such a thing as being too nice? But it's possible, I guess. God in Christ forgives us by grace, no matter what we say or do. Amen. And that's the, boy, have I been talking to him. Because it's hard for me to forgive myself once I do that. When I go off on somebody or whatever it is, then I feel horrible about it. And then I'm all apologizing, begging, please forgive me. Please don't be mad at me. And that's when I even get more mad at myself because begging, really, I'm to the point of begging. We've got an issue. No, and it just doesn't go away. So tonight, what are we doing? Um, I don't. I hope that this is not too much. Um, but I've just been seeing a lot of things about the drones, and um, so I wanted to share this video with y'all, and please listen to the words that they use. This is like an innocent video, but listen to the words that they use. Just really listen and think about all the things that we have been told and kind of read between the lines even. I chose the um, least evil one that I could find because I don't want to stress everybody out. But at the same time, yes, Rocksteady, really listen. At the same time, I just want y'all to be aware. And I know you are, but it's the wording, I think. It's the letting your imagination run wild. Just okay, here we go.
Fireworks have captivated audiences for centuries. Their origins can be traced back to ancient China over 2,000 years ago, with the explosive discovery of gunpowder. What started as an attempt by Chinese alchemists to create a recipe for eternal life unexpectedly transformed into a powerful repellent used to ward off bad weather and evil spirits. Whether it be the Super Bowl, the 4th of July, or the Olympics, fireworks remain a staple for celebrations near and far. Modern fireworks are a combination of science, technology, and art. At their core, they rely on the simple process of combustion, but other factors such as the composition of the gunpowder, the shape and size of its container, along with more advanced methods of computer automation, have made them even more spectacular, sophisticated, and controversial than ever before.
And one review of backyard fireworks found about 31% of them were defective, which increases the risk for injuries.
Firework injuries skyrocketed last year.
The majority of those injuries, of course, taking place in the time surrounding the 4th of July.
Fireworks-related injuries are up 25% over the past 15 years. Last year, there were at least 9 deaths and an estimated 11,500 emergency room visits.
Fear-inducing statistics like these, in addition to other criticisms like noise and air pollution, disruption of wildlife, as well as agitation among those who suffer from PTSD, has resulted in a noticeable shift in sentiment towards fireworks shows. This has caused many people to consider substituting fireworks for less dangerous alternatives. But if not fireworks, then what could possibly replace this age-old tradition? The proposed answer to this question is like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Just like fireworks, drones have undergone their own unique transformation over the years. Originally developed for military use in the early 1900s, drones have since evolved in a variety of interesting and unexpected ways. In fact, we are currently living through what can be described as the golden age of drone development. Advancements in the hardware, software, size, weight, and stability of these multi-rotor aircraft have allowed a number of multi-million-dollar industries to reach brave new heights and profits. Drones can be used for a lot of things: photography, videography, search and rescue, surveillance, Amazon Prime air delivery, even some forms of alternate transportation. While that's all pretty cool, it begs the question, can a pre-programmed swarm of quadcopters equipped with LED lights really succeed in captivating the minds and hearts of audiences around the world in the same way that traditional fireworks shows have for centuries? Could they even come to replace fireworks entirely? To answer these questions, we'll have to further understand how a drone light show is created. The first step in creating a drone light show is by planning and designing the show itself. This typically involves creating a storyboard timeline that outlines the different patterns and movements that the drones will make. The timing and coordination of the desired elements and effects are often planned in sync with the soundtrack, allowing the show to become a multi-sensory experience. Once this initial planning process is complete, the drones are programmed with the light show timeline using a specialized software. This programming ensures that the drones move and light up in perfect unison, creating a seamless and mesmerizing display. This software generates a 3D rendering of the entire show by calculating the flight paths of each drone to prevent mid-air collisions. This helps to reduce risk to the ground crew, the audience, and the drones themselves. However, due to a limited number of industry standard tools, Companies such as Firefly and Verge Aero have opted to develop their own software to assemble their shows for their clients. Using GPS or radio technology, an entire fleet of drones is able to communicate with each other just like a swarm of bees communicates within a hive. To ensure this constant stream of uninterrupted communication, it's essential that the drones operate outside of busy Wi-Fi frequencies and noisy radio environments. Finally, it's time for the main event. On the night
Good idea, Gigi. Hey, Gina Marco, good to see you. Chicken enchiladas with Mexican coleslaw sounds amazing. So yeah, maybe if I stop it once in a while and because that other one, little educational, looking at different perspectives, gone. This could cause an accident, yes. And so you heard the way they said it was like bees to the. Yep. Hey, Carl, good to see you. Yes, and they get into that, Gigi. Wolverine. Okay, we'll start it back up again.
of the show, the drones are launched into the sky, and the light show begins. The drones fly in formation, creating intricate patterns and images with their bright LED lights. One of the biggest benefits of drone light shows is their versatility. Unlike traditional fireworks, which are somewhat limited to a set of repeated colors, sizes, and intensities, drone light shows can create a wider variety of visuals, from simple geometric shapes to complex images, animations, and even realistic portraits. This opens up a whole new world of creative possibilities for event planners and designers. While drone light shows offer several benefits over traditional fireworks, it's important to note that they aren't perfect. Just like any technology, they have their own unique set of limiting factors. For one, each show requires several stages of regulatory approval and must meet strict safety requirements. In addition to this, there remains a low supply of skilled workers who are able to meet the demand for such performances. More than anything though, it's just really expensive. Despite this high financial barrier to entry, there are those who remain happy to embrace the novelty of this new technology and choose to burn their money on expensive quadcopters instead of gunpowder. In the spirit of friendly competition, year after year, nations around the globe have been pushing the boundaries of what is possible by increasing the number of drones, as well as the complexity of their choreography. If you imagine each individual drone being like a pixel on a screen, and you factor in the reality that drones are getting smaller and more advanced every year, is there really a limit to what you can create? First on our list is this 1,000 drone light show, which broke a new Burning Man festival record. Designed by Dutch experiential artworks firm Studio Drift, the show included a three-dimensional rotating human head, a floating Burning Man replica, along with a tribute to one of the festival's founders, Larry Harvey. Apart from the stunning visuals, the fact that the show was able to go on for hours via the support of 400 Starlink terminals powered by SpaceX makes this performance even more impressive. On July 15, 2018, Intel broke the Guinness World Record for simultaneously flying the most unmanned aerial vehicles with 2,018 drones. Since then, Intel has flown over 300 shows in 16 countries, including this awe-inspiring performance, the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics opening ceremony. Their custom-built lightweight drones called Shooting Stars are equipped with a light that can create over 4 billion different color combinations. Hyundai's luxury brand Genesis Motor China set another record-breaking show with 3,281 illuminated drones on March 29, 2020. In addition to tracing its own logo and cars over the Shanghai skyline, other amazing designs achieved included an outstretched hand, a DNA sequence, and a complex set of QR codes that made this show look like something straight out of Blade Runner. 1 year later, and the bar was raised again by the innovative tech company High Great. They secured 4 world records for this incredible show, including the largest drone mosaic, the most UAVs airborne simultaneously, the most consecutive formations achieved by UAVs, as well as the longest animation performed by UAVs. The company has carried out over 5,000 performances in over 300 cities across the globe, including the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics opening ceremony. Looking into the future, one of the most recent record-breaking shows was the 2023 Sheikh Zayed New Year's Festival held in Abu Dhabi. In addition to one of the most realistic drone portraits ever achieved, another world record was broken for the largest drone QR code formation, consisting of over 3,000 drones. If that wasn't enough, the show also shattered 3 existing fireworks world records during a staggering 40-minute-long hybrid spectacle. It goes without saying that drone light shows are a promising new form of entertainment that offers many benefits over traditional fireworks. Now, that being said, some of you may still be skeptical of this new technology, and rightfully so. One of the biggest threats to drones in general is their ability to be hacked by an outside source. Just a few years ago, a drone light show in Hong Kong's Victoria Harbour was cancelled completely due to the drone's GPS signal being blocked. From their familiar smoky smell to their trademark explosive crackle, some critics argue that drone shows don't offer the same tangible experience that fireworks do. Either way, with the $262 million earned from public displays and $2.2 billion from consumer purchases, the American Pyrotechnics Association doesn't seem threatened by the appearance of its new digital competitors. So what do you think the future holds for drone technology? Is it worth the high price and potential risks? Should we be concerned about how small they're getting? Or should we just sit back and enjoy the show? Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. For more videos about artificial intelligence, science, and technology, subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, watch another video here.
Did you hear that? What they say? SpaceX, NASA, and who's the other one? Anyway, y'all know what they use drones for. And the technology just keeps getting more and more advanced. And I just can't help but wondering, what's their purpose? Well, we've seen their purpose overseas. I don't know. Looking at women in bikinis. See, and that's, I know some people use them for just fun. Around here, they kind of get shot down. And if y'all have a way to do skeet shooting, you might look into that. It's a really fun activity. And it sharpens your skills for ducks and geese and stuff like that. Quail. Y'all know what I mean. Okay, I'm going to drop the link. If anybody's wanting to visit. It's been an interesting week for me. No, not worth hiding. Nothing is worth hiding under a rock over. We know. Someone asked me, something about, what if you get killed or died or whatever. I don't know what it was that they asked. And I said, but hopefully it wouldn't be for long. I would be hopefully one of them coming back on the horse to slay the demons. That's my goal. Hey, Carl. I guess
Good evening, Miss Bonnie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Tired again. but positive. I mean, it's a good tired. It's good to be tired, right?
Yes.
Al just called me old.
No, I didn't.
Well, he says I got a couple of years on me, Carl, which is a nice way of saying I'm old.
I think we all got a couple of years on a few of them.
I'm just teasing him.
Religious zealots are getting pretty scary.
Oh, and there's Cheryl, who just keeps asking when I'm going to go live. Cheryl, I've just been so tired, I just haven't had it in me to go live. Bonnie wanted me to go live last night, and I was dead tired. That's why I'm up here now, is I feel guilty because I wouldn't do it last night.
But you know what? It turned out all good. David Devine Broadcasting invited me to come up on his panel, and so I did that. I didn't know that Steve was going live, and so I met him, and I know I'm going to say the name wrong, Gra and Hope, and so he asked me to,
As in God rides a Harley.
yes.
All right, I know him too. And David's a good guy, you know. Whenever you see him, just tell him to calm down. He'll know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. And so he asked me to join his show on Wednesday at 9 Eastern. So that's where I'll be then. And then he said, okay, we're supposed to all go over to Steve's. And so then we went to Steve's live, and they kept asking me to come up on panels. So I did. And so we had a pretty good, and it was long. It was late. It kept my mind like off of everything else. It was good. And we were talking about some of so we know something's coming. Everyone can feel it. But no fear. It's whatever they're going to throw at us, they're going to throw at us.
What am I going to do about it anyways? I mean, I'm preparing
There you go.
the best I can for anything, but I mean, it's not like...
And that's the main thing. Have at least 30 days of everything you need. Food, canned stuff, if you can't cook, whatever you can eat straight out of a can, whatever you need. Just be prepared. And most of the people here are, even if they're on a monthly income, they plan a certain amount for groceries, and just there's your 30 days. They do it all at once. So I know that everyone is good for at least 30 days. Usually.
Well, I'd probably survive a little longer than that without nothing.
That's because you're Superman, Carl.
I am not Superman. I am not. No. No. No.
But you have been...
If I was Superman, I'd been out there kicking some evil's ass already, right? They'd be screwed.
Yep.
There wouldn't be a missing kid in this world if I was Superman.
Gigi, I had seen when that happened that they voted in a female president. Kind of shocking when the other one was having so much trouble with cartels. So I don't know what the purpose of that is.
Oh no, but I just saw Kamala's little rally, and they had to put up giant black curtains to hide all the empty seats. And I saw a report said just the people that were there, it was more than half empty, the arena or whatever it was. And they said it was just a bunch of freaks walking around. They weren't even like there to support her. They were just somehow, they probably picked them up in busloads and shipped them there.
That's right. Popeye, not Superman.
Well, if Popeye smoked weed instead of ate spinach, I guess it would be close.
It's close enough. It's yeah. It's green. You grow it. Yeah, and I do feel like it's going to be crazy times, but that's why um, when they asked me if I would do that, I was I I really think things over more now, and um, but it's good, you know. We keep saying we're a community, a family. Well, that means joining others, and um, it you know that we're all completely different, but at the same time, nobody's arguing. Everyone gets along as it should be.
And if they don't, we block them like good Americans. No.
You,
I'm just kidding.
no, I know. Most of my family is easier to love at a distance. Yes, Gma. And so that's why I have a lot of family of choice also, but the ones that are hard to get along with don't live in the same state. So it works out. It's an occasional visit or phone call or whatever.
What Gma says is absolutely true, and I've become an expert at loving people from a distance. I mean, it's like, I don't, you fucked me over, I forgive you, but stay the fuck over there.
Likewise, Elaine. Good to see
I
you.
also noticed something else too, Bonnie. It's kind of weird, and I'm kind of mad at myself a little bit about it. Is that people that like piss me off for decades, right? They rip me off or talk crap behind my back. Just very rarely does anybody do that to my face. But and then they die, all right, and then I can't say anything bad about them. All I can go, oh yeah, I remember having this one time we went. It's always a good story when I got to talk about them after they're dead. I can't bitch about them owing me money. Can't bitch about them being an asshole anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a good thing, Carl. It's Hey Jeffrey, good to see you. You I try to be really mindful of my last words to somebody, and because you never know, and some, but there's times when I fail. That's human.
Yeah, make sure you call them an asshole before they die.
And then tell them, but a good asshole. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people being able to hold grudges, and I
My
just,
mom was the master grudge holder. You screw my mom over, she don't even exist anymore. All right, that's where I saw it all my life.
that's
Anybody that screwed her over, boy, they were gone out of the equation.
yeah. Hey, Ann, good to see you. That's where my grandmother was. She was like, but it had to be really major. It wasn't just,
Well, I don't know if it was stupid enough. It was the same effect.
yeah.
Matter of fact, I've had to, I tried to combat that, philosophy myself in life because it's too easy to mimic your parents in some ways like that. And I tried not to be so hard ass about it like her.
Yeah. That's my grandmother and mother used to pick apart every person they saw. It was they had something, to me it was mean, to say about every person they saw. That looks gaudy, or do you look at her hair? It was always something. And I thought, oh my goodness, I, how can you look at people like that? It's just,
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean by that, Bonnie.
yep,
Ain't got a good thing to say about nothing or nobody. Everything's an issue, a drama.
yes. Stupid is contagious. I hope not.
Hmm. Well, you can lead a human to knowledge, but you can't make them drink, right?
Right. Hey, Sean, good to see you. Is this it? What's the day today? It's Saturday. Okay, I'm good. Hey, Chuck.
What's up, Sean and Chuck?
Drop the link again. That's a good way to put it, Al.
What'd he say? Sometimes he says some really good stuff.
He said, we're all in God's classroom. Classroom, just ain't all in the same grade. Oh, goodness, Anne. Sean, you get some rest. The rest, people. That is really important during these times, is to get the rest your body needs when you're sleeping.
Oh, I
That's
mean,
what,
sometimes, man, that double shift just makes your wallet that much fatter. I mean, there's pros to them double shifts.
well, yes, absolutely. But when your body sleeps, that's when the healing is done. That's when it's your brain is calm. You need the rest. I have to have 7 hours, or I'm kind of messed up.
Only way I get 7 hours of sleep if I stayed up 2 days in a row.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, here lately it's been hard to get the 7 hours, but
I wake up like every hour. It takes an hour to fall asleep. So I get a few hours a night usually. Unless I make myself real tired. Then I sleep.
hey, Chuck, not one day off since July 4th. Goodness, Sean. Is it because they're short-handed, or
I like the feeling of accomplishment. It's not just for the money or whatever. Because, like, I've been working in the day, when I get out of work, I work on the truck for hours, for as long as I can stand, usually at least till dark. And I've been getting a lot done, and I feel accomplished. The more I do, the better I feel, you know? Time for rest will come, in, when the weather's not so nice, when I can't be doing all this stuff, you know?
True. Winter.
Hmm.
Hybrid. You with us, Chuck?
I can't hear a thing from them.
I can't either. Hmm. Oh, working on the mic. Okay. Got it. Our weather's not up and down. It's hot.
It's cold right now up here. It's a lot of people are complaining about it. I'm still in a t-shirt because I love it. But it's most people are wearing coats around here today.
I've been hearing that it's cooler California up north, and I'm like,
Uh, the
well,
cooler weather allows me to do a lot. All right? It's when it's really hot and humid, I don't feel like working on something, but this cool weather hits and I can do that now. Why not do that while I'm at it? It's like way better to work in.
oh my goodness, Sean. Well, stop doing that, Chuck. It's broke now.
I'm at the point of excitement now on this truck because I've got all the inside hollowed out and I'm putting the new insulation in and adding in all the gizmos, and pretty soon it'll be starting to go back together.
Yeah, that's good. We kind of get used to the heat here. I mean, what I don't understand, and I saw my brother do it yesterday. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's is like the hottest time of the day. I told y'all the other day I saw it just keep getting hotter. 5 o'clock it was 101. 6 o'clock it was 102. And he's out there weed eating the whole property out there at my mom's. And I'm like, why do men do that? Do it. Anything
Can
I'm
you hear
doing.
me now?
Yep. Now,
Hey, what's going on, Chuck?
All right, sorry about that.
What about men? What are you complaining about men now, Bonnie?
that y'all go out in the hottest part of the day to do anything. If I'm going to do anything outside, I do it early in the morning, preferably early in the morning, because in the evenings when the sun's going down is when the mosquitoes go nuts. But
Well,
even in,
it's good for us to sweat out all that junk and keep our manly figures.
okay,
No, I'll tell you what, if I didn't have to work at the shop, which, business hours, got to be there. If it wasn't for that, in this
well,
hot weather, I would be working at night.
but I can see if you're out all day, you're adjusting to that temperature. It's the ones that just decide to go out of the house.
What she's trying to say, if you're a dumbass like me and goes out at 3 in the afternoon and cuts grass till 6 and about kills yourself, you're being stupid.
There you go. No, I'm joking.
I
But
did that the other day. I felt fine until I stopped the mower when it ran out of gas. As soon as I didn't have no air blowing around me, I was like, man, it's hot out here. I got off the mower and it's like somebody poured a bucket of water over me. I busted out in sweat.
I got a pretty nice tan going from mowing.
and I noticed that too. If you're outside and working and it's really hot, then you go inside and when I'm outside, I don't sweat. When I go inside into the cool, that's when I start sweating. And
Yeah, like the bottom fell out of it or something, ain't it?
it's weird, yes. So I'm guzzling water, take a shower, get all the cool off.
I don't know how if I don't even know. I'd have to. I'm outside a lot, so I don't know. I'm pretty climatized. I notice people around me get cold or hot faster than I do. All right, they're younger. They shouldn't be. It shouldn't bother them. I think it's because I'm outside all the time that
Yes.
you get climatized. Same with
Yeah.
when winter comes. People all around me is freezing their butts off, and they're wearing twice as much as I am. I think you get used to it.
Yeah, you climatize yourself. Like if you go out there and spend your whole spring outside, when it gets to be summer, you work your way up to them 100-degree days. It ain't near as bad. But if you've been in the air conditioning 70 degrees for 2 months and decide I'm gonna go out here in this 100-degree weather and dig in the yard, you're gonna kill yourself.
I don't even like air conditioning, Chuck. I don't, especially in a car. But I've never liked the air conditioning, so I've never owned it myself. And I really can't sit still in it too long. And sleeping in air conditioning, that sucks, man. It's not fresh air. I want fresh air.
I got used to it with having a wife and kids that made me soft. Hell, shit, 20 years ago when I worked as a lineman, I was burying wires underground, and I'd spend 8, 10, 12 hours a day out in the heat running equipment, digging, and
You might got a little bit soft, but I'll bet you still have that hard candy center,
yeah, I'm still, my son, hell, it's been a few years back. He was working on a barge, and he was a rope man and all that, and they bundled all them boats together and tied all that stuff down, and them new guys that come in there, he said it'd kill them, but he said that's hard work. They didn't have no shade, and it was all out there on them rivers. Anyway, he come in, he's all bowed up and shit, and he's out there arm wrestling everybody and just slamming them down. He goes, I laughed at him, and he goes, I would arm wrestle you, old man. He goes, I'm afraid I'll hurt you. I'm like, oh, it's like that. I said, put your elbow on that foot of that car.
Oh, and no, I can't wait to meet you, Chuck, because I love to arm wrestle. I arm wrestle everybody.
I stood there and smiled at him. He's pulling and pulling, and that my oldest son, he done slammed Wyatt down. He's looking at me, and I'm like, he goes, don't move. He goes, you're moving a little bit when I pull you. He goes, but your arm's not moving. I said, hell, if it makes you feel better, I love you. Go ahead and use both hands. He got mad, let go. He goes, why didn't you just pull me down? I said, I don't want to hurt your feelings and make you feel bad. And I said, all your buddies are watching. I said, I'm a broke down old man. I said, it took everything I had just to hold you still. He's like, okay. He goes, telling me to use two hands. He said, basically, you called me a bitch.
I was told that it's not fair because it's old man strength. What the fuck is that?
That means our arthritis locks it in place.
So, what are dunkers? Do y'all know?
A water?
Oh, I don't know what that is, and I'm not looking it up on Urban Dictionary. Don't you do it either, Bonnie. You don't need that.
Well, it's for mosquitoes.
Oh, all right. Well, when people say stuff, randomly, a term that you don't recognize, especially in this chat, don't go looking it up. You just don't need to know. Just let it go. Just
Well, I thought it was kind of sickening. I thought a dunker was when you go potty and it hits the water and splashes your butt.
See, it's stuff like that. It's totally irrelevant. It's stuff you don't need to know, Bonnie.
But it's funny.
I'm thinking it's donuts.
I hope so.
I mean, y'all are going way out there.
No, it's just because I'm a little gun shy. All right, because it's been around like that for a long time. There's some things you just don't want to look up.
Yeah, like two girls, one cup.
Okay, Ann, you got to tell me what dunkers are.
I want one of the old school Skeeter zappers.
I see how she is, Chuck. She's young and impressionable. She's still curious when somebody says something like that. That'll fade in time. She'll learn.
Yeah, I've always learned you ask more questions, you learn shit you don't want to hear.
Are y'all talking about me?
No, I wouldn't say nothing bad about you, Bonnie. I'll leave that to other people we know.
Jeez.
They're bad enough, huh?
Yes, I ask questions because I want to know, and yes, sometimes I regret asking the questions. Some things are better left unknown. Wolverines, good to see you.
You know how men are. They don't even ask for directions, so that tells you how we get lost and shit. And they will say, no, I was just checking everything out around here.
Mm-hmm.
Al called it splashback. You know the little yellow glow in the dark things on the highway, the little orange things that when you know what those are called?
Turtles.
Targets.
Fadunkas. Because that's what your tire does when you hit them. It goes fadunka, fadunka, fadunka.
Okay, there it is.
And now we know.
Dunkers are a product buy at a coop or farm supply and swear by them for mosquitoes. And use in my pond. Actually put in pails up high around my yard and truly helps with mosquitoes. Thank you, Ann. I have never heard of that.
And does it have like a reaction or anything, put off smoke or anything when you put them in? Or
You know, just an hour or so ago, I was wondering. I wonder if it's possible to kill mosquitoes with loud music. Because I'd like to have a really loud stereo, and if it could kill mosquitoes too, that'd be kick-ass.
If you can direct it speaker towards them enough, it probably would be like on Back to the Future when Marty McFly went flying when he cranked that speaker up.
They don't seem to like the wind. So a big fan would probably be good.
They don't like WD-40 and a torch.
I don't like mosquitoes at all. That's the one critter on Earth. I don't mind spiders or leeches or scorpions or snakes or none of them things. But mosquitoes, I don't understand, God. I mean, they could have, bats could eat something else. Why do they gotta, why, God? That's the one critter.
A sneaky parasite you don't see till they start itching. It's kind of like bed bugs, another one that's in that same.
Well, I ain't never had the bed bug thing because I just ain't sleeping in somebody else's bed and I don't know real well. So, but
you go buy a pair of jeans or a towel or a blanket at Walmart and get them. Vicky said they were infested at her Walmart over here, and they'd like just put the stuff out.
Oh, cedar.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't trust very, very little things like that, Chuck. I mean, I got a battery operated black light. It's like a little handheld pocket light, but it's ultraviolet.
Yeah.
Once you have one of those, you'll never use another hotel or a motel room ever again, dude.
Yeah, I heard they look like a crime scene.
Oh, that's not even. Oh, how the fuck does it get on the ceiling? All right.
Here, up on the top of the door, over the wall. I've seen somebody did a YouTube video about just rent a motel room, and it was a nice place, and went in there with a black light and did that. And I was like, oh wow, I think it was a Hampton or a Hilton or something.
Yeah, I'll sleep in the truck. Probably ain't going in the pool either.
I had a visit from 2 of my grandsons today, and I showed them my closet, and they're like, yep, we'll help. So maybe between them and their sister, we can get it done. And I'm just going to buy the window for the kitchen and then see who can take out the other one and put it in. Al said Walmart couches bring a new meaning, Chuck.
I was looking around earlier, Bonnie. There's a guy on here, and you guys may have heard of him. I haven't. Mr. Beast. I think I've heard my kids talking about him.
I have
He
heard.
got canceled. I heard he just got canceled.
Yeah, he's got like 390 million subs.
Whoa.
And even they said that he was up to like 400 or 500 million.
Bonnie, if you did a live stream while you installed the window, we could all help.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that and you have a lot of people interested. Show them ways to do stuff and not to do stuff.
Yeah. Well, you know, choose who you want to listen to. Well,
20 different people telling me, no, not like that, this. Y'all all be arguing about who's right.
Yeah, there was one guy in a video just a minute ago before I seen that you were on. He's talking about every time he does anything with gasoline or cleaning parts or whatever, and he's got gas out, he said, make sure you always have an open flame close by. He goes, that purifies the air. You fucking idiot.
or even better, make sure your gas tank's empty before you check it with a lighter.
Yeah. Yeah, never decide to make a propane tank grill out of a tank and just start grinding on it. Make sure you take the top out and fill it up with water and leave it sit.
I mean, some of that might make a good YouTube video, but you're not going to be around to see it.
Yeah, Sean said Mr. Beast has a buddy who was apparently I wonder if he was a Decepticon or what.
What's Decepticon?
He's probably a chomo, and that's probably what killed him.
You know, transgenders, weirdos in disguise.
Yeah. You know what a chomo is, Bonnie, don't you?
No.
Child molester. That's what they call them in prison before they ended up getting beaten to death.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Huh. Lemon balm. That sounds good. Grow it? I'm going to have to get to the nursery and look for these things.
Well, I found one thing we can grow good around here, Bonnie, and that's basil from seeds.
Yes.
I'm just wondering if I put it anywhere in the yard, if it'll take off and if it'll come back, or if it's just a seasonal thing. Or
Well, I know we have lavender around here, but I know that at least one of my kids are allergic to lavender. Could be more, but
you know, I know dudes ain't supposed to like flowers and all that stuff that much, but I'll tell you, lilacs. We had lilac bushes when I was a kid, and those flowers I like a lot.
they make lilac. What them things called, Bonnie, that grow up all in the trees on the side of the road, and you can see them in a certain time of the year. I can't remember the name. It's right on the edge of my tongue, and it's just.
Does it have big purple?
Yeah, purplish blue blooms all in them. Wisteria, is that the name of it?
Wisteria, or here we also have mountain laurel that grows wild, and it smells like bubble gum. I love those. I want a mountain laurel really bad.
Between here and Marshall, there's some spots. It'll be starting here soon. It's right at the end of summer when it starts getting good rain. There's some places it's like a mile or two long on both sides of the road up between here and Marshall.
That's I had a wisteria growing at the house when I was married, and I planted it where it would grow up a tree, and hang out at the tree, and it was doing it, and it looked so amazing. But because I didn't go get it, because I
So the
didn't know.
word you're using, does that start with a W? What are you
Yeah,
saying?
Yep,
Wisteria.
yep.
Sounds like a Def Leppard album.
Yeah.
Anyway, it got chopped down. It's gone.
Oh, they killed it.
Yep. I guess he didn't like it.
Who, your ex?
Yes. Rose bushes, everything. Gone.
He was trimming them.
Pretty sure mountain laurel is one of those plants that doesn't grow around here. I read about in the edible plants, maybe a medicinal plant, but I think that's an edible or a medicinal.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But we don't got it around here, so I ain't never been able to try
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's like us with the cattails. Is that what they're called?
Yeah. Supermarket of the swamp.
Yes.
Cattails, yeah, you can make mashed potatoes out of the root, and it's part of the stalk, can't you?
Do y'all have them
The
over there in East Texas, Chuck?
What?
Cattails.
Yeah, if you get around the lakes or bodies of water.
They are not around here at all. Not around the lakes, rivers.
Did you ever look at the link up I sent you on Caddo Lake?
Yes.
They had somebody up there. Who was up there the other day doing a video?
There's a tree house they rent. It's called Caddo Lake. I keep saying Cato.
Yeah,
Um,
CADDO.
okay.
They had somebody up there doing a music video, a country star here a couple days ago. Might still be doing it. I can't remember. Damn it.
Stove. On the
Hilarious. You got to make sure you got one of them skillets like that redneck guy on that video. If you got an alligator around, you pop him in the head of that skillet and he'll carry his butt.
yeah. The big lake where they have the boat races. They just found a few alligators in there, and I was like, "What? We don't have alligators in this area."
They need
But
to catch all of them, take them, release them in the Rio Grande.
They
yes,
find them in Michigan because people release them they get too big. You know, they get them as a pet and they think they're all cool until they don't even fit in the bathtub no more, and they panic and they get rid of it. And people find them.
Florida with pythons and what are them?
yeah, burning guns.
Iguanas and pythons. People release them out there, and then now they got a thing where them iguanas and pythons are eating everything up.
What's up, Billy? Apple? Hilarious.
See, that's when my one of my cousins caught a baby one in the river close
Hey,
to my mom, and that's what I thought. Somebody just got one, decided they couldn't keep it, and put it in the river. But that there was 3 or 4 of them in that lake. I don't know about that.
yeah, hilarious. They're not good for your arms and legs, but alligator good to put in a pot. Ain't nothing better than alligator sauce pecan.
I still think I could make some pretty cool body armor with gator skin.
Yes.
And I can make a pretty cool dinner if you get one.
Craig says I can come down there and kill all the gators I want. That could be something that happens.
I want to see that video. Carl
Yeah,
wrestling gators.
I didn't say nothing about wrestling them. I'm thinking like depth charges or hand grenades.
yeah, Yeah, I made crawfish and shrimp etouffee today. I ate 3 pounds of shrimp tails and 2 pounds of crawfish tail meat.
You guys with crawfish down there make ours look wimpy, man. It ain't worth it. You know, I don't.
I used to catch some big ones up in Ohio, but it had to be either the blue ones or the white ones, because usually the red ones or blackish red ones, whatever you want to call them, those are smaller. But if you could find the blue and white ones, they were bigger.
Well, only ones around here are from the Flint River either, so I ain't eating that anyways.
Yeah, they're probably glow in the dark.
Yeah, could.
Felt like close to hot waters over in Cleveland, off of that electric plant. Fish, I remember fishing there as a kid. Some of them fish had 3 eyes.
I've heard of it, man. I've seen it. I saw pictures of that shit before people were faking photographs all over the place. So yeah, I believe it.
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. What? So something's mutating them, or?
Yeah, just like Alex Jones says, that made the frogs gay.
Hey, Meat Puppet. Good to see you.
What's up, meat? Yeah, of course those toxins. I mean, Michigan has a company called Dow Corning. All right, and Dow Corning is in the town of Midland, like Midland, Texas. Only it's Midland, Michigan. So we both share that term, fair to Midland. But anyway, in Midland, Michigan, there's a place called Dow Corning, and they have a long line of, Agent Orange, all these chemicals that they've made for decades. And even back when I was a kid, there was a point where the cows got into this PCP or PCB, and they had to euthanize tens of thousands of cows and bury them in a mass grave here in Michigan because they were all contaminated. So there's like a long history of contaminated water just from that one company, not to mention all the car companies on the River Rouge down in Detroit and the Clinton River shed and all that. I don't trust the water here in Michigan, that's for sure.
That's sad. That is sad. I think the only thing we have in our river is cow poop. Because when it rains, it's going to go down into the river.
I saw a place on it's the Clinton River here in Michigan. It's north of Detroit, and it goes through a place called Utica. And back in the early 80s, there's this chemical incendiary plant. In other words, all the factories around there bring their toxic leftover chemicals to this company. They put it in a giant furnace and they burned it. All right. And they did that for years there until in the 80s it blew up. And it seeped into the Clinton River watershed. And I remember that whole area, it was dead. The swamps were dead. The river was dead. When I mean dead, it was like a multicolored oil slick in the still waters, but there was no insects, no amphibians, no birds, no living plants or trees. Everything in that section of the river was dead. Nowadays, it's like everybody just forgot it happened because they got canoe trips and kayak trips through there and all. I ain't getting in that river. Not after what I've seen. It ain't going away in the last 40 years. All right.
Yep. So Hilarious too said, the gator bites you on the leg, go with the death roll so the gator does not take your foot or leg off and try to poke it in the eye to make the gator stop.
That's true. Because they try to do a death roll, they call it. They do it underwater, but they also will do it on the land.
And Ann said that their water goes to Michigan and all the sewage plants after adding chemicals go into the rivers.
Yeah,
Sean
I can
said
hear that screams coming.
Clinton River where you drown twice and they rule it suicide.
Sean, you actually familiar with the Clinton River, huh? Wouldn't have guessed.
Tons of garbage from Ontario, Canada. Wow.
That too, Black Watch.
So, can you shoot gators? I mean, is that a thing? Or
It's probably a whole lot safer than trying to kill him with a knife.
I don't know. I've just never heard of anybody doing it.
The way I see something like that is we're meant to kill it. All right, like sharks, dinosaurs, something like that. It's gonna eat you if you don't kill it. So it's to me, it's just a natural response. Kill that thing. Can't believe people want to make pets out of alligators. What kind of fool are you? Oh, it only bit my second, only bit part of my arm off. I love it. Pet. I still have my other arm.
I don't know. The lady that they interviewed that was in that shark attack down South Padre, what was she saying? She didn't even feel it. Like, she knew she was bit because of the blood, but she didn't feel it. And I've heard that. You don't feel it at first. It's like a shock, I guess, or something.
I'm sure if I shot a gator in the Rouge River or something around here, some activist would be upset. Oh, a mean man killed man-eating reptile. Oh my God. I could just see that becoming something like, instead of tree huggers, it'd be, alligator huggers.
I don't go to the areas where they're at. There's a place, I think it's called Three Rivers, and we know there's alligators there. The only fishing, well, for whatever reason, they put trout lines, but it seems like the alligators would get them. I don't know, but and then Lake Jackson down by the coast, it's full of alligators.
Well, I know a lot of guys that like to shoot things, so I would imagine that that would be a nice pastime.
Yes.
I remember watching people down in Florida shooting iguanas because they're like everywhere, overridden with iguanas, so they're out there shooting as many as they can.
Bon Eric would love that. That one dude with the thick Cajun accent, former Marine, was my favorite gator hunter. Yeah, that show, I agree with you. That was enough gators for me.
I've heard of Swamp People. I never watched that. I probably should.
Yeah. Watch this gator wrestler.
What's the show with Uncle Phil? They call him Uncle Phil. Which one is that?
Oh, that's right. I keep
Duck.
going.
Duck Dynasty. You ever watch that one, Bonnie?
Yes.
What's the deal with the Uncle Phil guy? Because I still haven't watched it, but I was at a campsite years ago with a gal, and we were sitting by ourselves on the picnic table, and people kept going by and calling me Uncle Phil. Why were they calling me Uncle Phil? Because I don't think I looked that much like him.
Yeah, he's the minister. I don't know. Maybe it's the way you talk or your build. I don't know.
Neither do I. That's why I was asking.
Yep. Duck Dynasty. They're good people. I haven't seen their homes, but they don't look like they live because they're stinking rich. But they don't look,
Sean,
they don't
that
act
makes
like
me want to. Oh, I'm sorry, Bonnie. I keep thinking you're done talking, and I start to talk.
it's okay. I just said they don't look like they're rich. They don't act like it. They're
Who,
they're
the
like,
Duck Dynasty people?
yes,
Because what Sean just said makes me want to watch it even more.
yes. And they will sit and pray. They talk about Jesus. That's what's that one movie? God's Not Dead. Um, I can't remember which one of them it was. He and his wife were fixing to go into a church, and this news girl went to do an interview on them. That is a really good part of that movie too. The whole movie's good, but that's right, Sean. That's why a lot of people don't like them too, Duck Dynasty, because they do. They'll just they'll speak Jesus. They'll speak truth, and but
Well, we all know how that works, right? No
yes,
wonder they're blackballed.
yep, and they won't sell out to the big corporation thing. I think didn't they start out with the duck collars? That's how they got their name.
That's
And
why they were on that's how they got on my radar, even why I know who they are. They had a whole line of gear that I've seen.
yes, and so they did that, but it's how they made their money. I mean, if you can invent something or create something that's better than others' products, why not? You take
I
care of
can't say nothing about that at all because I've been inventing stuff and selling stuff for decades.
awesome. That's what it's all about.
I can't afford no patents or patent lawyers and all that stuff. So if I make something and invent it, I just sell it directly to somebody. I've done that for a long time.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no middleman and somebody else. And I've actually seen stuff I made years before somebody else starts making it and selling it in the catalogs. And then it's over for me, because they can get it for a fraction of the price. But that's happened to me a couple times. Because it was pretty common that they didn't make a certain bag or a case for something. You know, nowadays they make cases for everything.
Absolutely, Sean. Thank you. And anyone who wants an email, let me know and I'll share it out.
I had dropped a link in your chat earlier when you were playing that drone one. There is such a thing as anti-drone tactics, and they're pretty interesting.
Oh, really?
You know,
I haven't seen one of those.
there's a few. That was a pretty good video I dropped in the chat earlier. I'll send it to you later.
Okay, I'm back. My son called from jail, and I really got to find some lawyer that can help him with this because they're kicking his constitutional rights one way and another, and every time he turn around they postpone it. So he's never had a bond reduction. They've never done a motion of discovery.
Was he arraigned?
First court appointed he had was trying to get DNA, picture, blood evidence from where he got shot, where he was at. They couldn't get the damn police cams. Then the people, then another time they had to show up, they're trying to get the witnesses to come up there to make a statement. They wouldn't come up there. And here in October, we'll be working on a year. And they're trying to get him for home invasion. He didn't, all he did was knock. No damage to the door. Nobody got hurt. He didn't have a weapon on him. He brought a bat with him that he used because he walked 10 blocks from one of the worst neighborhoods in Shreveport. Because he was trying to figure out what was wrong with her. He couldn't get a hold of her, and one of her friends got a hold and told him where she was. So he walked over there, he'd been there before. He knocked, then knocked again. The door opened. He walked in like he did any other time. Got shoved back. A guy pointed a shotgun at him. He pushed it down. The dude shot him in the damn leg and then called the cops, and they said it was home invasion.
Yeah, he stepped in it. I got so many. Like I said, man, last time you're guilty until you prove yourself innocent nowadays. It used to be the other way around.
He said the jailhouse lawyer up there is telling him that they're not doing anything with him because they fucked up and it went too long and all this is going on and they don't know what to do. So they're hoping they can hang him in there long enough that he'll accept some plea and get him out from under it because they know they screwed up.
Don't take the plea and then sue their ass off when he gets out.
That's what I told him. I said, you already been in there about 10 months. They don't eat it just to get out.
Man, I can't believe they can do it to Americans, but they're doing it. They've been doing it. You know, it's nothing new. It hasn't been so well communicated like it is these days. You know, they've been doing this stuff a long time. It's just now more people are hearing about it.
He said some guy come in there that went to somebody's house, beat the door down, and with a hammer or something, I guess he attacked somebody or whatever, and they got him for illegal entry. And it's like, hey, David. And it's like, well, he goes, well, I didn't do shit but go over there and knock. He goes, it might have been because of 12:30 and he was drunk. He said, the worst thing they can get me on, can't get trespassing because I never been told to leave. He goes, I wasn't acting up. I was just trying to see where she was at, making sure she was all right. And he goes, I didn't hurt anybody, hit anybody. He goes, it was kind of funny that he already had a gun and stuck it in my face. If he hadn't pushed it away, he said he had it pointed towards his face. So it almost felt like it was some kind of a setup.
Around 15 years ago, Chuck, I it wasn't legal weed here in Michigan for a long time. It was right around the time that it changed. But for a long time it was hard to get weed. And I stopped at a yard sale like a mile down from my house one day. And the guy's like, "Hey, you want to burn one?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I want to burn one." So I ended up making pretty good friends with this guy. And I started buying weed off him, little bags he was getting, you know. And, a couple years go by. Weed is now legal. It's a little easier to find. I just didn't know anybody local yet. And I'd known him, like I said, a couple of years. And somebody I had known up there knew him for a long time. Anyways, one day it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. And I'm standing in the kitchen and I see his vehicle hauling ass down the road. And he just skids to a stop and he pulls off onto my property in my little hidden 2-track and pulls into the woods like out of sight. And then this little black car does the same shit, all right, only doesn't go all the way into my 2-track. And I see this chick jump out of the car and runs over to his car screaming and yelling and hitting him and all this shit. And I saw a big black bag full of cash, all right, and she got it and she left screaming. And my buddy come walking up to my house just like the walk of shame, dude. His head was low. He had this look on his face like he was totally defeated. And he goes, "I'm sorry, Carl. I didn't know where else to go." And I'm like, "What the fuck is going on, Joe?" He says, "Every time I get near my house, she calls the cops and says I'm out there to get them all. I can't get anything of mine. My guns are there. My weed's there. My money's there." I'm like, "Hold on. What do you mean your weed?" "Oh, Carl, I've been growing weed for months now. It's all legal." He says, "It's all legal. I got all the proof and everything. Everything's right." I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck is going on?" He said, "Every time he got near his house, she called the cops." So I'm like, "Joe, you got some friends. All right, we need to get a group of your friends together." He's like, "Why? What's going on?" I said, "Get a group of your friends, preferably female friends." All right. So I got it. I got a little hidden camera and an audio, and we went into his house. All right. And I got on videotape her dialing 911 in synchronized action with her daughter, screaming, saying that we've all got guns and we were there to kill them. And there was like 8 of us. And the whole time that they're saying this, I've got them on camera lying their asses off because I'm showing us and then I'm showing them in their little drama. All right. So then we leave because I know we had to leave. They were out after this guy. And I called up the cops and they're like, "Hey, where is he?" I'm like, "Well, we'll meet you. We'll meet you on the road, but I want to talk to you before we let you talk to Joe. I'm representing him." "Oh, all right. Well, we'll meet you there." So I met him on the side of the road. These state cops show up and they wouldn't, like, "Stay in the car." I'm like, "All right, cool. But you going to watch this or not?" He says, "Well, I agreed to, so I'll watch it." And I get out of the car and this state cop, he was pissed off right from the get-go. All right. And I watched his face go from pissed off to astonishment watching my video back to pissed off. All right. Now it was a whole different game. Then I had proof that they were lying and conning the cops. All right. So we went back over there. And this time, because of all the legalities, this is where I realized that weed was really legal in Michigan, because I watched these cops divvy up giant bags of weed and bags of cash, and they got them as guns and everything, and it all went down with the cops assisting. Right? It was like, but it was all bullshit. People can lie about something and ruin your fucking life.
Yes.
And I think the ones, especially like somebody touching a woman or whatever, they're gonna falsely accuse somebody of something. Whatever punishment that person would have got, because if they'd actually done it, the false accuser should get it. So, like, if rape, if you can get 20 years for rape, false accusing of rape, they'll give that woman 20 years.
Yeah.
Don't cry wolf just because you got favor in the eyes of the law.
I totally agree with what you just said. They ought to be liable for the same punishment that they're trying to bring on to somebody else. With false allegations.
with being full of shit, then you should lose your value of life too.
Well, any false allegations, meant to imprison or incarcerate or any of that they should have the same penalty for lying.
Yes, because they're lying under oath. But unless the court system has changed drastically,
you can't. It's like if he would have tried to sue, he wasn't married to her, right? It was his girlfriend, but because they shared the house and shared the bills and all that, it was like a divorce in Michigan. So it had to be, everything had to be. She got half his shit, is what it boiled down to.
Yeah. But it used to be with rape victims, they would run the woman over the coals with her reputation, whether she asked for it or not. It was.
You see, now here in Michigan, it's a little different. All right, the social services will help a victim concoct a crime. All right, there doesn't have to be a real crime. There only has to be an accusation, and you have the full force of the state of Michigan behind you if you're a female doing that. Or at least it used to be. I think there has been. They did pull a little bit back on the reins on that, but. Some years ago, boy, if you were the man, you were screwed.
And I saw it completely opposite. And that's why women wouldn't even admit to being raped because they didn't want to go through that in court.
Well,
so a lot of men got away with it.
Michigan has a lot of victims' rights advocates and, all these. I was speaking more not about the rapes. I'm talking about like divorces and, domestic breakups or whatever you want to call it, because you don't even have to be married. But, the guy's going to lose.
Not here. Because even, I keep hearing about this common law. So, we had the house built before we were married, and it was in my husband's name. And then when we got divorced, it was the same thing. It didn't matter that we'd been married for how many years. It was like 15, so I don't know. And it didn't matter. It was in his name. It wasn't.
Nobody should be treated any different, no matter what their gender is or sex or whatever you want to call it. And I don't care if it's.
But if a man rapes a woman, she ought to be able to shoot him dead. That's all.
Yeah.
That's the way
you go to jail. Everybody in there should know it. That you're either a chomo or a woman rapist.
But y'all saw how that went with that young girl that was being held captive by that guy, and he kept on raping her, and she finally killed him, and she went to jail.
Yeah, see, that's where it's fucked up. That's absolutely wrong.
Yep.
Tormenting somebody to the point to, yeah.
And if some of them they do it, they allow it because of religion. Like, that shit don't matter here. You're not in that kind of a country that their religion doesn't protect them from doing shit like that.
I mean, throwing the switch on an electric chair would probably give the victim some closure. All right, that's the way I feel about that.
Especially if they hook it up to a flasher like a Christmas light.
Goodness.
Say, well, you're almost there. No, you're almost there. No.
Dang, I got to replace that fuse. Hold on. Oh, dang, I blew another fuse.
And this is why there's women in the world.
I was just talking about that too, Chuck. Why are you going to bother with the last meal? If you got a murderous son of a bitch on death row, why are you giving him why are you wasting food on a dead man? Dead asshole, in fact.
If he wants a banana split, well, the person you screwed over wanted to live a little longer and not been molested or whatever. So the fuck
Well, I
what?
just heard a story about a guy who ordered like half a restaurant worth of shit and ate half of it before they did him in. But that,
Oh, Black Watch, that was horrible. The Green Mile.
I think as soon as they take away another person's rights, they should permanently lose theirs. By rights, I mean if they murdered them or whatever, they don't even have the right to breathe anymore.
I feel like a dinosaur up here talking like this. I feel like, you remember when we were young and all the old folks, they didn't like our music. They didn't like anything, that we did. Talk about payback.
So you don't like the kids' music?
Not much of it. I mean, have you even heard a Taylor Swift song? Because
No, my kids don't listen to Taylor Swift.
good. I mean,
They listen to hip hop. I mean, a lot of hip hop playing and just
That's
silly.
fine if people want it like that, but that they don't have to share it with everybody else.
Well, I had to share. I mean, that's where, come on. I played a lot of loud Ted Nugent, and none of them old people appreciated it. So I can't really talk a lot.
Well, I usually played mine doing 70 mile an hour down the road. So it's like, okay, they got to hear a whole, 20 seconds of it maybe?
Oh no. In like 1976, I got the best Emerson boombox that they made, the biggest one. And then I took it and I put dry cell batteries in it and car speakers. So I had a super loud, customized boombox that I took to school with me. I mean, everybody heard my Ted Nugent. Everyone.
Yeah, hilarious bad thing about it. Since Vicky got sick in December, she finally got her disability. She made half decent money working at Walmart, but a little bit of money we did have went to the wayside, and we survived off of my little old bitty disability check for 6 months, which screwed all the bills up. Any extra we might have thought we had, we don't. I sold my truck. I can't afford a lawyer, especially when I've talked to a few of them, said that I need to have between $5,000 and $15,000 if I want to do anything to help him get out. That's why I need to find somebody, one of these guys that go after people for the infringing on rights and the way they treat people in jail and all that. In 76, I was 11, 10 and then turned 11. But
1976 was a kick-ass year for me. I lived on a lake. It was the bicentennial year. I remember just partying my ass off in 76. It was all about bikinis, sunshine, and boats.
You know what I remember about 76? Getting what was it, an AM, FM turntable. I know it had 8-track. I think it had 8-track and cassette. I can't remember if it was 76 it had or if it was a stereo I got a few years later. But anyway, and I got a hold of advertising for Columbia House and ordered my first bunch of stuff off of Columbia House. Got 15 of them for a penny, then 10 extra if I paid $2. And I got to pick a bunch of other stuff. Well, I got like 27 or 28 albums and tapes and stuff. So my music collection went from nothing but the radio to having an 11-year-old that had almost 30 different albums and tapes.
I did all that too, but I paid them. I mean, I kept getting more and more. And then I'd move and I could do it all over again. So that's how I got a lot of albums and cassette tapes. Because remember, it started with albums, but then they changed it to cassettes and 8-tracks you can get too.
I'd try to fulfill it until the point when they'd call the house if I didn't get an allowance, got in trouble, I missed time or whatever. and they would call to see what's going on or send something in the mail. When Dad intercepted and said, "You know he's 11 years old," they'd all of a sudden quit.
That was the clause. That's what got you out of the bill right there. They couldn't persecute you because of your age. Hey, blue butterfly.
Dad's like, "You're gonna have 100 credit score before you can buy a car, boy, if you keep that shit up."
It was, what was it? 13 albums for $0.01, wasn't it?
Yep. And if you bought one extra, you got one and then 13 more with it. So you got like 14 or 15, I forget what it was. I got one extra, paid half price, which was like what, $2 or $3 back then. And then got 10 extra on top of that. So it was 10, 25, 26 or 27 of them.
You know, I remember picking Double Live Gonzo and Live Bootleg and Tres Hombre. I was picking all the double albums because it was even a sweeter deal. Because double albums cost more. Remember? Double albums used to cost.
I bought the Kiss collection thing, and it was a big fucking box that had like all 5 or 6 of their albums in it.
I remember that.
I counted as one.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then I got Street Survivors from Leonard Skinner, and it was the rare album cover that had the fire around the ones that died. A bunch of Aerosmith. Oh, shit, I don't even remember it.
Yeah, I used to love Aerosmith. I did. I seen them well over 20 times. I had all their albums and stuff, except for some of the new stuff. Didn't really care for that as much. But then I saw Steven Tyler's name on that Epstein Island list, and I totally lost taste for everything. And I haven't listened to them, and I hear they just retired for good, and it makes me wonder why.
Yeah, I've lost it. When I seen that, I had a few CDs and old cassettes around here, and I just threw them in the trash.
Oh, speaking of old cassettes, this 22-year-old nephew of the owner here gave me it's like mint condition, man. It's like it's never even been played. A Weekend Warriors cassette tape, dude. I got an original 1970s Weekend Warriors. Now I got to get a cassette deck for the truck.
See if you can look in the junkyards and one of them older cars. I found one a few years back and put it in my Dodge Coronet when I had it. And it was I don't remember if it was Alpine or if it was Pioneer that had the little magic wand in the middle that did your balance and fader, but it was an under the dash AM FM, or it was just FM cassette 8-track, and it had like 100-watt amp in it.
That's what I'm looking for. I got a JBL system. I don't even like it, man. This stereo. I mean, the guy gave it to me. I know he meant well and all, but it's too fancy. All right, it's got like remote control. I have never even used it. It's just resting in the dash. I want an old stereo. That's what I'm looking for, Chuck. I've been watching. I'll find one.
Yeah, I don't know if you have any U-Pullets around up there.
Oh yeah, I mean, but I'm more likely to find something like that on Marketplace. Somebody's been saving in their garage for the last 40 years, something like that.
Yeah, put an ad in there. Looking for it. Somebody might have it and give it to you, or give it to you for a little bit of nothing. Or
yeah,
I'll find one. I want to put speakers on the outside and inside of the truck, and then have the amp and all where out of sight. I'm going to put it where nobody can see it. It's going to just look like an old stereo system, but then when I turn it on, it'll sound like something entirely different.
They told me they wanted $10 for it, and then the guy behind the counter said, "Well, we got somebody the same vehicle needing the instrument cluster and something else out of it." I'm like, "I'm gonna be in there in the dash anyway." I said, "Yeah, I'll pull it." He goes, "Well, you pull that out for me, you can have that radio."
You know how these old trucks have all that empty, unused space in the quarter panels and the radiator support and the doors and the cab corner? There ain't no empty space in mine. It is stacked full with parts. I've been collecting for 40 years of different parts, and I got it, if I'm at a junkyard and I see something that I know I might use down the road, I'll get that too. Besides what I was looking for that day, I'm terrible about that, man. I love junkyards. I could spend a whole day there.
A buddy of mine like that over short wheelbase Chevy trucks. Anytime he went somewhere, the bed sides on the short beds, whether it was step or regular, he would take them off. Or if one was good and the other bad, still he'd only grab one. Sometimes he'd grab the whole bed, fenders, doors, and then he'd check rear ends to make sure it wasn't a stock Positrack rear end in them.
There's just parts. There's some stuff that's hard to find. I've got an original Dodge skid plate that's over the transfer case underneath this thing, and it took me 10 years to find one. All right, find one that wasn't rotted. All right.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's like a prize to me. It wouldn't mean nothing to anybody else, but to me, that was a flipping prize.
Yeah, a lot of people look at stuff, those skid plates or cover plates under the bottom for stuff. That's just a pain in the ass to get to when I want to get up in there and work on something.
Yes, but it also protects. See, I've got the old PTO takeout, the old cast iron transfer case. So, and it's even harder than to find. But I've been watching for years for the PTO linkage. If I ever find the PTO linkage, then I'll have a direct PTO takeoff right off the side of the truck. Or I could make it work a winch or whatever I want,
Yeah. I used to hit them all the time when I lived in Shreveport because I lived in the country off of Shreveport, south of it. Anytime I had to go anywhere, I'd always pass. There was one, you pull it right there. And I'd go in and look, and some of the guys knew some of the stuff I was looking for, and they'd tell me, well, so-and-so got one over there in Shreveport or the other side of town or Bossier. I used to be over in them all the time until I got hurt.
I think it's by design, but out of, let's say, the 15 junkyards that I frequented, all of them have been cleared, and half of them are out of business and not used anymore, and the other half has been replaced with modern vehicles to where now they're up on the racks. It's not like the old junkyards anymore here. They've removed them all, and they say it was for the scrap metal or whatever, but
Obama did a lot of that with cash for clunkers.
Yes.
So do insurance companies, when a vehicle is called total, what do they do with them?
If you don't buy it back, it goes to a wrecking yard, or they sell it at Copart or some other auction, and these places bid on it until whoever gets it, whether it's a person like us or a junkyard.
Maybe that. I was just wondering because my mama's truck, it's totaled, but it's still got the motor. It's a 22 truck, and so that motor alone has got to be worth quite a bit.
You got it. If it's undamaged, because a wreck can cause some damage there too. But if you can prove that engine runs, they'll buy the whole truck for the engine, and when you won't have to pull it.
Transmission.
Depending on what kind of truck it is.
It's a Dodge Ram. Dodge Ram, Hemi.
Yeah, probably they go for the Hemi. Hemis are worth a lot. A lot of your newer Chevys are worth a lot. A lot of the newer Fords are worth a lot, depending on which motors are in them. But like the Fords, if you just a 4.8 or whatever, they're still in demand, but they're not as expensive as you get one of the high output motors. But motor transmission out of them, a wrecking yard probably get what do you think, Carl? Probably $5,000 to $8,000 for both of them.
I think if she's got a running Hemi with low miles in a recent year, she's sitting on an easy $2,000 just for the block.
And if it's a running and low mileage, hell, driver, that Hemi, I'd have to look it up. Let me look real quick. I'll tell you real quick what they're going for here.
Well, I'm sure she wouldn't buy back. I was just curious what they do with them, because somebody could get some really good parts off of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've had to buy crate engines, and you can't touch them for under a couple grand. Nowadays, I hear they're even more,
A
which is
motor,
a replacement engine for any vehicle, Bonnie. But that's a Hemi. A
a
Hemi is a
motor,
very sought after engine.
right? But a motor for my Outlook, and it's just like a Acadia. They're identical. They're both GM. Um, New motor for it is 5,000.
Mm-hmm. Here's a Subaru sitting here on my lot. The owner's other kid, he blew the motor, and it's a newer car. It's a nice car, black on black on black. It's a sweet looking car, but the engines, like you saying, 5-6 grand, and you'd be on a waiting list for it.
Yeah. Well, my Durango, I bought from a salvage yard, and they said that it had been totaled, but there was nothing wrong with it. And I got it really cheap, and I drove it for 10 years until I sold it to my friend, and then she drove it for years after that. Never had any major problems with it or anything.
You guys are just making me want to work on my truck some more.
I'm looking to see a price for you, Bonnie.
Oh, it don't matter. I mean, I was just thinking, like I got that Durango, if they just replaced that whole side, well, no. I mean, the outside is pretty messed up. It even separated the cab from the bed, like halfway down. It's separated.
See, that Hemi with the right motor mounts will go in any of those Dodges. It'd probably be easy to find a Dodge with no drivetrain, with a blown motor or something, because that's expensive to fix too. Is you get a really nice frame and body and just throw that Hemi in it, and you'd be golden.
Yeah.
Was it T-bone in total, or?
Yeah. And it's just the driver's side.
PMCS there, Navy.
I'm looking at one, Bonnie. I don't. Let me see if I see the year on it.
Let's see if Navy knows. I know if anybody knows, Navy knows what PMCS stands for.
The damage is like from the front of the driver's door back all the way up the side. Excuse me. That's what grandkids came to move the big stuff. And my mother has this furniture that she had bought about 2 or 3 years ago. And they went to lift that sofa.
Here's one, Bonnie, for it's got 100,000 miles on it. They want 4,000 for it.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know how many miles.
I got another one here. It only has 22 miles. It's 2021 to 23 Ram Hemi engine. It's 17,900. So.
Dang.
Shop owner just bought a brand new Dodge Ram 1500. I mean, it's so pretty. I don't want to drive it. I wouldn't want a truck like that because I'd scratch it up and I'd never forgive myself. Anyways, he paid a lot more than that for his. Those are not cheap trucks.
No. all of them anymore. The base model's probably 30 or 40 for a full size 4-door truck.
And I mean, it's fancy. Your phone talks to you through it, and all kinds of gizmos in it. It's got 110 outlet right on the dashboard. It's fancy, Chuck. But too nice for me. I need something I can fix with a can of paint.
Yeah, I like stuff I can throw my toolbox in the back and go with the hell at.
Yeah, something I can use without guilt.
I should have rhino lined the bed of my truck, but I put stuff back there and it slide around it. I was kind of finicky when I got it because it had a lot of miles on it, but the guy drove it. He was a salesman, and in the back of it, he had a snap-on cover, and he carried shit here to here in different places. He had a car and a truck. Or no, he had 2 trucks. One was Suburban, one was a pickup. And they said when he come in and traded them in, he traded them in and bought another pickup and an SUV that he used for his business. And he traveled all over so they're basically used as a car that would haul stuff that wherever he did for his work to show people.
Now, you know how I've been living. I took this whole truck apart. I gutted it because I wanted to replace all the insulation in the walls. I got all the insulation in the ceiling. I reinforced the ceiling with wood beams so I can put more cargo on the roof. I've got the walls all apart. I'm replacing the insulation in that, adding new wiring harness, reinforcing some bolt down spots for the outside and stuff like that. But I had so much stuff in here. I got 4 full pallets of stuff that was inside this truck, just the gear, not talking all the parts and tools and all that, not including my field desks and sewing machine and workbench and all the other stuff that was mounted up in here. And it's a major, I've got a good portion of the shop filled with my shit right now, and the truck is, I'm surprised I'm not echoing in here right now because it's so empty. But when I finally get it all back together, I've been hauling parts to do this job around with me for ages. I'm going to have a trunk full of parts less because they'll all be installed and everything will have its home. So it'll be a lot more space. I'll have and then I'm bolting everything down inside a lot safer. So the sewing machine, I can go off road and not have to worry about the sewing machines bouncing around and stuff because that's an industrial machine. It's pretty heavy. It's a 95-pound head on the top of that machine, But it's been amazing. When I'm finally done, I'm going to do a tour of this thing and just show people just how much you can actually fit in something like this, because it's a lot.
Yeah. I'm going to go through that, what my son-in-law calls the garbage pile, where he cleaned out the garage. I was just looking at it yesterday while I was out there, and I was like, I see rhino. And I walked over there and got closer. There's a 5-gallon propane tank in it and a mini metal trash can with a lid. And the tomato, what do you call those? The wire things you put over the...
Oh, tomato cages you put around the plant?
Yes. And I just bought like 6 of them, 5 or 6 of them this year. And there was a whole stack of them out there. And I'm like...
Sounds like you scored.
I'm going to go through that and take out what I want before they start. Because and I don't know if my brother's doing it this time, but I know they're talking about getting a dumpster out there and just putting everything in it.
You got a trailer hitch on your little car?
Excuse me. Yes. No, I don't. It's in the front. Like it had been towed behind an RV.
Oh, I was going to say, if you had one on the back, your mom had a little trailer over, I'd start loading that sucker up and Did you say
Well,
you
she
had
could still do it with truck if she was really good at driving backwards.
if you had a car like Vicky's with that dash cam that she's got where the radio is, well, it's only a little 3x5 screen, but
Yeah.
and drive backwards all the way home.
Well, even I'll use that propane tank. I mean, because I already have several of the 5 gallons, but one, just throw it away. Even if they were to take it to the store.
$25 to replace one if you needed a new one to get a damn tank.
Yes. I think it's more like 40 for the tank.
It might be
25 to fill it, because when you go to trade it in, it's a whole lot cheaper than when you first buy it full.
Instead of trading them refills in at the store, go to Tractor Supply. They got a guy there that fills them up, and you get a lot more propane for less money. It's like 10 or $50 to fill it up, and they fill it up.
Ain't that the truth? I go to a propane company and it costs $20 to fill a tank, all right? But it is filled. You go to get the exchange, it costs like almost $30, and the thing weighs half what a full one really is.
Feels like the empty one you just walked up there with, don't it? When you go exchange it.
Yep.
I've got 2 of the 20-pounders that mount in the front of the cab. You know how it's got that high wind jammer on the front cab of this?
Yeah.
And they mount in the corner up there. I've got 2 that go inside, so because on 2 20-pound tanks, I can go for a couple months with propane as much as I use it. You know what I mean? With that, the wood stove and the other heaters, I'm good to go. I tried and worked fine. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you keep it closed up and keep it a bare minimum where it's comfortable, but it isn't like toasty in there where you can run around in your underwear. But
it's going to be even nicer this winter with all this new insulation. It had that, it was 1970s yellow cotton candy looking stuff. And now I've got the 1.5-inch foam board with that R 6.9 rating or whatever it is. It's got the foil on it. I've got spray foam all the corners. It fits tight, dude. It's going to be nice. I can already tell. It's like more soundproof. I close this thing up.
That's why you said you don't have an echo now because it's empty because you got all that sound deadener in there.
Yeah, I can't hear the trains hardly as loud either.
Cool. Yes. That's we noticed that my mom's new home, you can't hear when somebody drives up. And I said, okay, that's a little concerning. So we're going to
if I open up the window or the vents, I can hear just fine.
Right. Well, she won't be having any windows open, but we're going to fix that.
Well, hell, guys, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to go put this food up I made earlier and get ready for bed. Shit, I was asleep by 11 o'clock, 10:30 last night.
You remember what Saturday nights were like when we were young?
Yeah. If I wasn't partying, I was watching Friday night videos, and they had something on Saturday night we could watch. I can't remember what it was.
I don't think I ever got to bed before midnight in the weekends when I was young.
I don't know. And I got to be in my teens, and what was worse is going somewhere partying at somebody's house, and you're trying to hurry up and get home. When you walk outside, the sun's coming up, and you feel like a vampire.
I know that feeling really well. You're walking, you can feels like the whole world's looking at you as you walk down the sidewalk.
We know what you did.
So I don't know if y'all saw it on my community page, but last night or yesterday sometime, Backwoods did a music video. You were there, weren't you, Carl?
Well, I've been there. I mean, I don't know if I was there at that moment, but I was there back and forth a couple times.
When he just kept playing music and had the videos going, and it was all AI created. What do y'all think
Yeah.
about
I think he likes it because he's been toying with that a while.
He said it took him 30 hours to put that together.
Night,
Oh.
Chuck.
Good night, y'all.
Night, Chuck.
Bye.
Thank you.
I personally don't like to listen to AI. I mean, a friend, in fact, just today requested AI. There's some program you can request AI to write a song for you,
Yes.
and he gave it its parameters, and it wrote multiple verses and choruses of an entire song.
Yeah.
He's done it a few times. He just sent me another one today. And the way I see that is it's going to replace us, all right? And it's not going to need us. And people think, oh, that's good. I can just sit on my couch all day and all the robots will do everything. No, the robots are going to find us useless. And
Yes.
it's going to be one of those, I'm sorry, I can't do that, Dave. Skynet's online, and we're screwed because they've asked AI and it'll say, humans are the problem. That's what it's going to see. We're the only thing on this planet that's altered it in a bad way globally. No other critter does that except us. And
Maybe.
that's where they get that thing where, we're the problem. Well, that's the way AI is going to see. What's up, Kissa?
AI created song and it's funny. I keep crap links. And I can't believe he didn't get any copyright strikes for that. Also, I even asked Indy, how is he not getting? If I would have done that, I would have got slapped. That it would
I hate to think it, but I really, there's some of us that people are going to report the moment you start doing something. All right. And I believe that a lot of us have some of that going on. And when you get the right crowd, they may not be reported, but I also have heard that there's certain like clauses you can make in the creation of the video, or maybe a copyright thing, or for educational purposes or some crap like that you can do that's a clause that keeps you from getting the strikes. I'm not sure what it is.
I don't know. I know if I play covers, I'm okay. Usually, sometimes the cover will.
Yeah. I mean, it's gotten worse. To me, it looks like they're giving more strikes for more things all the time.
Yes.
And I was just told recently that StreamYard's now got some conditions that they're going to make people jump through some hoops, including showing your valid ID that they're going to keep on record no longer than a couple years, and before they promise to keep it private and then delete it. But they're going to, and that'll be the end of my StreamYard because I ain't showing them my ID for nothing. They don't need that information. I'll go on without it.
That'll be the end of mine too, because I don't have one.
Well, I got one, but I ain't sharing it. Look, they got all these data breaches, all this hacking going on. I'm not doing it. Next thing you know, they're going to want my bank account numbers, and I ain't doing it.
All right, maybe, but it'll take me a minute. Let me see if I can grab it. We need some funny. Turn the volume down.
But there are other platforms that this community is, meandering to, like Discord and Rumble, and so there are alternatives if they want to play that way.
Yeah, I don't. I don't like. There's something different with each one of those, and the chat is what makes it. And so if you can't see the chat, then to me it's a problem.
Well, that's like on Rumble. There is a chat. Most people miss it. You have to actually scroll down the page to see the chat, and you have to be signed in order to use it. So yeah, it's not as good as YouTube in any way, shape, or form. But apparently, you have more freedom of speech there, so people are kind of
Yeah.
migrating there.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I've got a Rumble account. I haven't been on it in a long time, but if I needed it, I could go there.
I wonder how you do videos on X. Because
You probably have to have a computer on some of those, wouldn't you think?
I have a computer, but I don't know. On X, they seem to be able to show pretty much anything. Let me see if that came to me. Oh, yep, there it is.
I guess I should probably jump down. I'm pretty beat too, Bonnie.
All right.
I want to get up early enough to use the daylight again. I get somewhere doing that. If I can use all the daylight of a day, I can accomplish some things.
I understand. Okay, I'm going to share this funny video.
Well, thanks for having me up here, and I'll probably still watch a while, but on my way out. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for coming up, Carl. Good night. Okay, I'm going to share this video that maybe.
It was a Saturday at the bingo club. I was having some fun with a lovely lady. When all of a sudden, in a turn of events, my stomach turned and my face turned red. I think I just shit in my pants. No idea how it happened. I think I just shit in my pants. The smell is so bad, nobody's laughing. Yeah, I guess I just shit in my pants. Woo! What did I expect after eating that beef? Now the smell of my poop is all over my cheeks. I tried to run to the bathroom, but now it's running down my leg. I tried to excuse myself, but I don't want to make a mess. I think I just shit in my pants. No idea how it happened. Come here. I think I just shit in my pants. Shit in my pants. And nobody's laughing again. Woo! Shit in my pants. I think I just shit in my pants. Shit in my pants.
Oh my. All right. I'm going to share one with y'all. I think it's funny, but we'll see if y'all do. Let me see if I can find it first. Waterfalls. Yep. Yep. There it is. Let's start. Hey, George. Good to see you. I think we all have a twisted sense of humor sometimes. But okay, here we go.
Today.
There you go. A GC.
That was my chair.
Gee whiz.
Me from WD-40.
WD-40, please. How dare you suggest anything else?
Well, just everyone had heard it. Well, you couldn't suggest it. Oh.
I'm in the firing line.
You're not on camera yet.
Well, as George Gardner used to say, better out than in.
What? Sorry. Matthew? We have way too much fun on this show. I'm sorry. Okay, well, Christmas... Enough with the chair. A Christmas mystery has presented itself to a family in Ohio. It all started with letters from Santa and to Santa. Someone intercepted them and could not... I hate you.
Well, more bodily functions in the news this morning. The next time you pass gas, make sure no police are around. A man in West Virginia faces assault charges after police say he passed gas and handed the officer. Wayne, don't laugh. After the man was already arrested for DUI, according to police report from St. Cruz. I can't even get through this.
He passed the gas so loudly, the officer said it was, quote, very odorous and created contact of an insulting or provoking nature.
Mr. Anchorman.
See, that wasn't even right. To put that story in there was wrong. That was wrong, man.
I didn't see it when I was looking through the script. He stuck that in there.
Very odorous. There you go. All right.
Some scary moments for customers at a Kansas Home Depot. Police responded to reports of a bomb threat at the store in Wichita. A customer alerted employees. A man inside the bathroom said there was a bomb in the building. Police were able to locate the man responsible for those comments, and that man told police he warned other guests to leave the restroom because he was, quote, fixing to blow it up, but had no intention of causing a panic. Man also told police others in the room laughed, understanding his joke, which I'm just now getting. Home Depot says they will not be pressing charges. But I can tell you right now, you asked the producer for me to read that, didn't you? To Ethan now, please.
No.
Are we going to have to go to a commercial?
No, we're going to get it. We're going to get it.
Well, in Wichita, Kansas, police were alerted to a bomb threat that may have been a little more than an understanding. A Home Depot employee called 911 to say they heard someone in the bathroom outlining a plan to blow up the home improvement store. Now, police were able to track down the man responsible for the alleged threat because it turns out upon entering in the restroom, the man said, quote, "Y'all need to get out of here because I'm fixing to blow it up," which, of course, is a euphemism for describing his bowel movement. Now, a similar incident happened in New Orleans last year. A man using a similar euphemism was arrested for allegedly threatening to blow up Willie's Chicken Shack.
Now, y'all can't tell me
This,
that.
my friends, is the reason why this job is worth it. It is these moments right here.
You can't tell me that it's your papa or your daddy. You never said that going into the bathroom.
That's my whole family. It's got to be on a watch list.
In November, he admitted following then 21-year-old Tanya Billingsley home. He said he'd had an emergency defecation situation and needed to use her bathroom, but the judge in the case found he had a sexual motive.
An emergency defecation situation.
Anyway, carry on, Hillary.
Yeah, just as you I'm having one myself. Because this next story is so tragic, I cannot be laughing. Right. Investigators believe a bomb caused the explosion on a plane which has just taken off from the Somali capital of Mogadishu. The blast blew a hole in the side of the plane, and one of the 74 passengers on board was sucked out, which is terrible. And I'm not laughing at that. As the plane was at relatively low altitude, there was no violent decompression, and it held together. No one is responsibility. Today could be the day I lose my job.
Dude the clown was driving through downtown Toronto with a few other clowns when he noticed a man acting strangely. Dudu the clown saw the man running toward two women, so he yelled out a warning. The women jumped in the clown car. And then seconds later, the man attacked the car, ripped off the side mirrors. Those women were safe, and it's all thanks to Doo-Doo.
When I got home, first thing when I got home, and I don't want to get emotional, especially, first thing my daughter, 12 years old, came up and said, "Dad, you're my hero." So I can't say I get emotional.
Oh, man. Doo-Doo, the clown says that he's glad that he was there to help. He knows it could have been a really bad situation. The suspect in this case is now facing several charges, as he should, and police believe that suspect was on drugs at the time. Thank goodness for that clown.
Okay, when two clowns crashed, it was no laughing matter. And no, it was not part of their act. The two elderly men crashed their minivan on their way to the local fair. The driver, 83-year-old James Billingsley, a.k.a. Dimples the Clown, collided. He missed the entrance, but when he tried to make a U-turn, he slammed right into an SUV. They're okay. Police say Dimples was wearing oversized clown shoes, but police say that they did not play a role in the crash.
Brian has been laughing for like 2 minutes now.
I can't believe you made it through that story.
And nobody was helping me.
No, we were actually worse for wear on that one.
Laughing.
Sorry, Roxanne.
That should be part of their act, though. I'm thinking.
My shoes are driving.
I need some big clown shoes tomorrow.
I don't know what you're laughing at. Well, I'm not laughing at this story because the story is serious. But man, I apologize. Again, it's Thursday. Good morning.
One pot-bellied pig has certainly endured his share of problems. Chris P. Bacon was born without the use of his I can't. Yeah, you have to read this story. We cannot. Oh my God.
Is taking customer service to a whole new level.
Yeah, he wants to make sure that when his customers want fresh meat, they get it.
You could have gotten through that.
Almost.
Henry's not here. Henry's not here.
Even when his store's closed.
You were doing well. That is why he installed a vending machine for meat. It's the first of its kind in the country. The owner hopes his customers will use the new device to get their brats. And they're bacon, Chris.
I love bacon.
Greek brat with feta and olives, a bratwurst with wild rice, tomato, basil, Parmesan brat. You know, I've been waiting 4 years for this, so I'm pretty pumped.
I think that's pretty cool. I think that's. I think it's probably going to get some use.
No, Chris. The price of meat sold from the vending machine is the same as inside the store.
Oh
my goodness. Now.
Something special at the National Western Stock Show. Today is Bison Hump Day. Ranchers will meet ahead of the show to talk about ways to improve. Mitch is making me laugh. Ways to improve the bison population. Now, some of the talk will be conservation. Mitch. Some will talk new technology to manage the herds. This is all part of the Roaming to Success campaign that aims to increase bison population from 400,000 to more than 1 million animals. I'm done. I'm done with this.
You're having a hard time this morning.
It's Korea's latest workout invention that gives you shake weight a run for its money. Take a look at what we found. According to the YouTube, what is going on? What is going on? According to the YouTube description, this is for people who like to ride horses in front of their TV. Am I reading? What is going on? And like to keep giddy up in their own home. Okay, we're gonna move on from that.
That's worse than the shake weight. You just when you thought it could get worse with the shake weight.
Look at that man thrusting his pelvis.
What is this?
That's scaring me this morning. They're thrusting
All right.
their pelvis at me.
Hopefully you're up
Hold
with us on this this Wednesday.
Speechless.
Was
Sometimes
really,
you're just left
that was
speechless.
really alarming, actually, just across the board.
Well, y'all didn't seem to find it funny. I don't watch the news anymore, so I didn't see any of those. But the the poor guy went into the Home Depot. Oh well. So I guess that everybody's leaving. Really? Okay. Well, it just seemed weird that they call it a Person's Hump Day. And riding a horse in front of the TV, did that even look like riding a horse? I don't know what that thing was. Doo-doo the clown. Okay, I'm weird. You want a song? This guy, excuse me, I'm going to share his link, and if y'all can sub to him, that would be awesome. He's new, and he's doing pretty good. He only does it on YouTube. I know I can't get in trouble for this. So I'm gonna play this song.
Troubled times. I'm afraid the better days that we've seen have done passed us by. Nothing but lies. You can't believe a damn word that they say. They're messing with our lives. News on the TV, nothing but negativity, just poison to the soul. What's right is wrong, what's wrong is right. They challenge God's word with all their might. I can't help but wonder, where's this country gone? Lunatics and politics, about enough to make you sick. It's corruption to the bone. Mr. Washington, D.C., best thing you can do for me is leave me the hell alone. Hey, I'm just a good old boy, raising hell and making noise. I'm 80 million strong. Ain't much for backing down. 'Gonna fight and stand my ground. Got an army of my own. Best thing you can do for me, leave me the hell alone. Declaring war on Donald Trump with their bullshit stories that they're making up. They can't stand the fact that he speaks the truth. I don't know what's going on, but I can tell that something's wrong on Pennsylvania Avenue. Crooked ass politicians, you might ought to pay attention. This country's tired of you. You hate our guns and our freedom. Piece of shit like you is why we need them. So don't hold your breath, 'cause we ain't giving up. Double standard way of law. What's good for them is bad for y'all. Change all the rules, make them up as you go. Mr. Washington, D.C., best thing you can do for me is leave me the hell alone. Hey, we're just a good old buzz, raising hell and making noise. We're 80 million strong. Ain't much for backing down. We're gonna fight and stand our ground. Got an army of our own. Best thing you can do for me is leave me the hell alone. Oh, here we go. Hey, we're just a good old boys, raising hell and making noise. We're 80 million strong. Ain't much for backing down. Gonna fight to stand our ground. Got an army of our own. Best thing you can do for me is leave me the hell alone. Best thing you can do for you is leave this country alone. That's right.
Well, he got a whole lot more subs since he put out that song. Hey, Black Watch. I mean, haven't you ever just gotten to where something just tickled your funny bone and you couldn't quit laughing? And that's the way those poor people were that were trying to do the news, and now it's contagious. How are you doing?
Hey, chat. How are you?
Okay. Not that funny. Stop.
You okay now?
I'm trying.
I don't want to interrupt your giggle bath.
Oh, maybe it's stress. It just something hits you and you just laugh. Laugh till you cry, whatever. I don't know. So how are you doing?
Take your time. We're here all night.
Trying to play another song. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry, y'all. Tell a story, Blake. Okay. Think of something that is totally not funny.
Oh, go ahead. Say it.
What?
Whatever it is, that's.
Even I try to think of all the current events, and it's like, no, you can't help but laugh. They're worrying about cow farts and Kamala's running for president. Oh my goodness, Lord, we're in trouble.
Most people go to the bar or the movies for a good time. You go to the butcher shop. I'm trying to catch up to you. I thought maybe you went to the dentist today, leftover. And,
No, I wasn't laughing like that until I showed the video.
Would you like me to play a song for the crowd?
I have some songs. Do we need another song? Here, I got one. Let's see.
Don't look under cow parts, okay? Because we won't get it. Oh, jeez. The way to a woman's heart is through her cow parts, I guess. You'll have her in stitches.
And that just reminded me of my little granddaughter. She was sitting on my lap, and she did it.
If you get the hiccups over this, we're really going to get in trouble.
I know. She was apologizing, and I said, "You can toot on me anytime." And, I shouldn't have said that. Never mind. Here's a song.
Steady now. You can do this. Oh, boy.
staring at her son, she just can't touch. If at any time he's in a jam, she'll be by his side. But he doesn't realize it hurts her so much. And all the praying just ain't helping at all, 'cause he can't seem to keep himself out of trouble. So he goes out and he makes his money the best way he knows how. Another body laying cold in the dust. Listen to me. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. I know that you're gonna have it your way or nothing at all, but I think you're moving too fast. Little Precious got a natural obsession with temptation, but he just can't see. She give him loving that his body can't handle, and all he can say is, baby, it's good for me. One day he goes and takes a glimpse in the mirror, and he doesn't recognize his own face. His health is fading and he doesn't know why. We letters took him to his final resting place. Y'all don't hear me now. Go chasing waterfalls, stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to now. I know that you're gonna have it your way or nothing at all, but I think you're moving too fast, yeah.
Hey, man, I ain't chasing falling water, water chasing me. I pay it forward right before I make it pay for me. It's getting harder in this world of hate and blatant greed. I practice karma like a farmer, harvest patiently. Don't be atomic, focus on what your cause is. Every effect I causes, especially pregnant causes. If you a target, then it probably means you got the juice. So watch your cup just running over for the haters too. Make them quench their thirst for you. Now they want to work with you. Meantime, you steady pressing forward for the sake of you. And algorithmic money making mobile paying dues. And now instead of haters hating, haters paying you. And it's a cycle triangular. And straying is dangerous. See, what I be praying for is always intangible, but always obtainable. The power of God is all I need. Ain't no falling water chasing worth the damn.
Go chasing waterfalls, that you're used to now. I know that you're gonna have it your way or nothing at all, but I think you're moving too. See, I don't hear me now. Don't go chasing, baby. You're used to. You're nothing at all. You're moving too fast. Oh yeah.
All right.
Pretty bad shit.
That's the one. All right. Okay.
Okay. I think I got myself pulled together now. At least you were laughing, Black Watch.
I'm not sure I got all the lyrics to that song. I kind of got the lead in, and
Oh, really?
what? Well, it just, I don't know, just the music to it. Was this about a cow named Bessie or something, or am I kind of just had too many salt and vinegar chips or something? I don't know.
Excuse me. So I was guzzling a bunch of water, so now I'm gonna just burp. Okay, that's great.
I'm not sure, but Ah, what a day.
Yep. I agree.
You okay now?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I don't, but go ahead.
Oh. I don't think I showed y'all this. This is so. Been hearing some things about Texas that I am not real happy about, and I need to have a talk with somebody. So, remember that statue that they put on top of that library somewhere? Well, she's here too. That thing right there. I don't know where in Texas. It's got to be Dallas or Houston. Oh, University of Houston. Yep.
I'm still trying to figure out what set this off. I'm not sure.
Oh, but wait. Somebody has confirmed that an 18-foot golden statue of a woman with two thick braids resembling ram horns was deliberately decapitated on campus this week. As chaos from Hurricane Beryl initially crashed into the city. Well, she's taken care of.
Forgive me, I'm not sure how to deal with this at the moment. I got.
Oh no, Ann, what's wrong with Chrissy Cat? I just saw her last night in the chat. She didn't say anything was wrong that I know of. I don't know. Chrissy Cat.
Oh yeah, she had something. Yeah, I've seen her around
Yeah, I've been seeing her too.
here and there. I think there was something going on. I can't remember. She was in one, I think Joe's thing. Wednesday night. I don't know.
I can't.
I don't know if it was her brother or something. I'm not sure. I don't want to speculate when I'm not,
Right.
It's not my business to say.
Well, and I went over to Bushcrafts yesterday, and Bear Truth was there. He was up on panel. And I was glad to see him. It's been a long time since I've seen Jeff on a panel. I think he was going to be on 101's tonight. If 101 went live, I don't even know. I don't know. Oh, goodness.
Oh,
Just go ahead and close this one down.
Jeff from Georgia, you mean?
Excuse me. I can't remember where Jeff said he's from. I thought he was in Texas, and he's not. And
The Jeff that was always on his panel every night?
on 101's, yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said Georgia one time. I could be wrong. I'm sure he said Georgia. I mean, with that accent.
Yes.
Yeah, he said, but anyway.
Oh, gosh. Good job, Carrot. Works good. Does it stop laughing?
Still. Are we with the Muppets now? I mean, what?
Okay, I'm gonna play one more song by Adam. That
Yes. Yes, waitress, I think we have a food allergy going on here. I'm not sure.
we'll see what happens.
Old man Johnson still runs a feed store. It's gotta be tough with these prices anymore. But he hangs on and keeps his faith in America. She works late, seems like every night.
Boys already for school?
Single mom and money's tight.
Wait, the book bag.
It's a big old
I'll
job.
pick y'all up after school.
She keeps faith in America. And I go home every chance I get. The place I love, I won't forget. It's where I was born. It's where I was raised in America. Just an older road near the county line. No farmhouse, yeah, that was mine. No red barn, front porch swing in America. Whoa, in America. It's got a homecoming game this Friday night. It's a big old dream, but it just might finally come true. 'Cause he keeps faith in America. And I go home every chance I get. The place I love, I won't forget. It's where I was born, it's where I was raised in America. Just an older road near the county line. No farmhouse, yeah, that was mine. Tractor and a barn, sitting in a swing in America. Just an older road near the county line. No farmhouse, yeah, that was mine. No red barn, front porch swing in America. Whoa, in America.
Cheryl, I'm glad you're okay with it. Pacing everybody off. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and close this. And try to quit laughing. Oh, what the heck. If you can laugh, do it. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining me tonight. You know, I have a blessed night. I'm not sure when I'll go live again. But I'll see y'all soon. God bless you all. Good night.